Let's start at the beginning. On Tuesday, November 8th, Americans will vote for president and vice president. When they vote, they are actually choosing presidential electors, known collectively as the Electoral College. These electors will then choose the next president and vice president. So how does the Electoral College work, and when was it established? Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution, as amended by the 12th Amendment in 1804, sets the requirements for election of the president and vice president. Who are the electors? Who may serve as an elector? The Constitution states what the electors may not be. It prohibits members of the House and Senate or any person who is an employee of the U.S. government. In practice, the two major political parties tend to nominate a mixture of well-known figures such as governors, other state and local elected officials, and party activists. In most states, the names of individual elector candidates do not appear anywhere on the ballot. How is the number of each state's presidential electors determined, and how are they chosen? The number of each electors in each state is the total of the two senators, plus the number of representatives. 48 states use a winner-take-all system, so the candidate that wins the popular vote then wins the total number of electoral votes in that state. There are two exceptions. Maine and Nebraska use the district system, with 2 electors for the winner of the statewide popular vote, and 1 elector for the winner of the popular vote in each congressional district. The total number of electors is 538. 435 for the number of House members, 100 for the number of senators, and 3 electors for the District of Columbia. It takes 270 electoral votes to win. Since 1864, the voters have directly chosen electors in all states, a tradition that has become a permanent feature of the Electoral College system. Are presidential electors bound by law to vote for the candidates of the party that nominated them? Presidential electors have followed the will of the public since the first decade under the Constitution. Only 8 individual electors since 1948 have broken their commitment, but they have never influenced the outcome of an election. Has the Electoral College ever chosen presidents who received fewer popular votes than their opponents? Yes, in 1824, 1876, 1888, and most recently in 2000, as George W. Bush received approximately 500,000 fewer popular votes than Albert Gore Jr., but received a majority of electoral votes to become the 43rd president. What happens if there is a tie, or no candidate receives a majority of the Electoral College? If no candidate receives a majority of electoral votes, the House of Representatives elects the president from the 3 presidential candidates who received the most electoral votes. Each state delegation has 1 vote, the Senate would elect the vice president, and each senator would cast 1 vote for vice president. In this election year, what is the timeline of key dates for the election and the Electoral College? November 8th is General Election Day. December 19th, the Electoral College meets. State delegations of electors meet separately in their state house or capitol building. And January 6, 2017, the Senate and House of Representatives assemble in joint session to count the electoral votes. January 20th, the president and vice president are inaugurated. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to vote.